Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Welcome to the Bridgeport Public Library, Boroughs and Salem branches, special Christmas Storytime hour. Tonight we have a special guest. Santa Claus himself will be here. He would be here right now, but unfortunately, since he's so busy in I-95, he's running a little late. So in the meantime, myself, Nicholas, will read some books to you to keep you entertained on this evening. So the first book that I have for you is Snow Bunny's Christmas Wish. This is by Rebecca Harry. And don't worry, I'll do my best to run through. Snow Bunny lived all by herself, deep in the wintry forest. Every day she hummed a happy song, but there was one thing she wished for more than anything. Wonder what that could be. On Christmas Eve, Snow Bunny decided to ask Santa to make her wish come true, so she wrote him a letter in her best handwriting. Dear Santa, the letter says, for Christmas, please, may I have a friend? Oh. This is the only present I truly want. Thank you, Snow Bunny. It's a sad letter. She addressed the envelope carefully so it wouldn't get lost in the mail, and she hurried out into the frosty air just in time. Just in time to see Red Robin Postman flying away. Oh, she had missed him by just a whisker. Oh no, said Snow Bunny. I'll have to deliver my letter to Santa by myself. Snow Bunny looked at her map. I will follow the North Star to Santa's house, she said. I won't get lost, but just in case, I better pack some useful things. So she packed a pair of warm mittens, some frosted cookies, it's the most important thing, and her map. Snow Bunny had been walking through the snow for a little while when she saw a light shimmering through the trees. There's the North Star, she said happily. But as she pushed through the trees, she saw... What do you think she saw? It was only the moon shining on a frozen pond. Bears skated across the ice, all having fun. Yay! Except one small cub. He sat by himself, blowing on his cold, cold paws. Make sure you wear your mittens outside. Snow Bunny thought for a moment. You can have my mittens to keep your paws warm, she said kindly, and then she went on her way. She hadn't gotten far when she spotted a star high above the trees. That must be the North Star, she said hopefully, but as she came down the hill, she saw... It was the star on top of a huge Christmas tree. Animals scampered around, hanging decorations from its pretty branches. Snow Bunny thought for a moment. You can use my frosted cookies to decorate the tree, she said kindly to the fox cub, and she went on her way. Now, would you use cookies to decorate the tree? I would just eat them. She had gone quite far when she saw a wavering light. Is that the North Star? She wondered, but on the other side of the hedge, she saw... The light was from the lanterns of some fawns who had been out visiting friends and lost their way. Snow Bunny thought for a moment. You can have my map so you can find the path home, she said kindly, and they went on their way. Snow Bunny blew on her cold paws. She had given away her mittens. She felt hungry and a little bit lost. She also gave away her cookies. Then she took one last long look up at the sky, and what did she see? Finally, "That must be the North Star," she exclaimed. "It's so big and beautiful." And as she ran toward it, she saw that it was the North Star shining brightly over Santa's house. Ta-da! Santa read Snow Bunny's letter. "Hop on my sleigh. I'll take you home on my way delivering presents and making wishes come true around the world." "But what about my wish, Santa?" Snow Bunny asked politely. "Wait and see," smiled Santa, and with a giddy up, they wished off through the dark and starry night. When Santa's sleigh landed outside her home, deep in the wintry forest, Snow Bunny saw all the animals she'd met along the way gathered out her door. The bear that she gave the mittens to, the fox that she gave the cookies to. They had all come to thank her for her help. What a happy Christmas the new best friends spent together. Snow Bunny's Christmas wish had come true. Now she has all these friends. So if you're kind to other people and you help them out, they too could be your friend. So I have breaking news. We have Santa is still not here yet, but I do want to give a shout out, as they say, to Caleb and Aito. Thank you for watching. Now I have one more story somewhere down here. This is one more story. I particularly like this one. Bear stays up. I don't know about you, but I cannot stay up while I'm waiting for Santa. I always fall asleep. The day before Christmas, snuggled on his floor, Bear sleeps soundly with a great big snore. That's what I sound like. It's not what the bear sounds like, probably. "Dear Bear, get up," Mouse shouts in his ear. "We won't let you sleep through Christmas this year." It doesn't look like he's waking up. His friends are all there, gathered in his lair, and the bear wakes up. He stands with a stretch and a great big sigh. "I hope I can make it. I do." Hare says, "All day and all night." He tries to lie down, but his friends all frown. So the bear stays up. "Come on," says Badger. "Time to follow me. In Pine Grove Glen, there's a fine Christmas tree." So they stomp through the woods and they tromp down the track. They hoist up the tree onto Bear's big back. He plods very slow as they trudge through the snow, but the bear stays up. A windy snowstorm they have him going through. Back at the cave, Gopher brews mint tea, and Mole pops corn to string upon the tree. Raven and Wren bake a fresh fruit cake. The friends do their best to keep Bear awake. He's not too excited yet, don't you think? His shoulders start to stoop and his eyelids droop, but the bear stays up. He's barely staying awake. Look at this. They hang up their stockings by warm firelight and hum Christmas songs like "Oh Holy Night" They cuddle and sing as they wait for the sun. But soon all the voices fade to just one. A bright star glows while his good friends doze. But the bear stays up. So it looks like his friends are falling asleep, but he is awake. Bear giggles and grins, he works and he raps, he bustles and bakes while everyone naps. He piles up presents under the tree, but who's at the doorway? Bear doesn't see. He toils all night until the sun rises, making his friends their Christmas surprises. But just before dawn, he lets out a yawn. But he still stays up. And who's at the doorway that he does not see? Seems like it's Santa. When Christmas arrives, so lovely and white, Bear's friends awake to a glorious sight. Presents and goodies are piled up tall. I stayed up, says Bear, just to share with you all. They wake up, look at all that under the tree. Looks like the legendary fruitcake that nobody eats. As his friends shout with glee, Bear lies by the tree, but he still stays up. Wren flies to the stockings and tweets out a cheer. Besides our bear's presents, Santa was here. When all gifts are open, there's one last surprise. Badger shows Bear a quilt just his size. Do you know what quilts are good for? Napping. Bear snuggles up tight and mutters, "Good night." Then Bear falls asleep. His friends tidy up and slip from the lair. They whisper, "Sweet dreams, Merry Christmas, dear Bear." He is cozy and fast asleep under the quilt. And there he is, snoring away. So that brings me to the end of my books. I believe I might have heard a door shut. And you know what that... Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that's no alarm. That is none other than the jingle bells of Saint Nick. Santa Claus has arrived.
Oh, friends, good to see you. Sorry for being late. My sleigh isn't working so great. Better that I figured it out now than then. I'll have to have Mrs. Claus give it an overhaul before Christmas. But anyways, yes, young man, your name is Nicholas, right? Yes, I remember you from my nice list. Yes, I'm sure you'll be getting something wonderful this year. You are very young. You can't be a day over 300. Ah, yes. The 300s, that was my favorite century right there. I hope that you'll end up agreeing. So, hello everybody, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, festive solstice, really rad Saturnalia, and an okie dokie, just general winter celebrations to you. I'm so happy I could be here. You know, the elves and I are about as busy as Amazon right now, but I was able to come out because not only do I love, doing this type of stuff with kids, but I love books, and where better to do a book reading story time than at a library. So first of all, I wanted to start off tonight with one of my favorite Christmas books right here, which is your name is Anna. You're on the nice list too. Would you mind switching the camera up a little bit so I could just do my book here, if that's possible? This is how I thank you very much. Although you're getting two nice gifts for that one right there. I thank you very much. So yeah, this is one of my favorite, Christmas books, and Christmas books are my favorite type for obvious reasons. This one is How Do Dinosaurs Say Merry Christmas? And this is a great book for two reasons. One, it's a good, if you read this book, you'll know how to stay on the nice list. And also, I love my dinosaurs. So here we go. How do Dinosaurs Say Merry Christmas by Jane Yolen and Mark Teague. And Jane Yolen is the author. That means she wrote the words. And Mark Teague is the illustrator. That means he drew the pictures. So how do dinosaurs say Merry Christmas? And even before the book begins, we have this Lexovisaurus being very naughty and just dragging this tree around for no apparent reason. But don't worry, Lexovisaurus turns out to be nice in the end. But no more spoilers. Let's go right to it. So, on Christmas Eve, does a dinosaur sleep? Do they go up to bed without making a peep? You'll have to pardon me, the glove isn't working very well here. The gloves do come off, Nicholas, thank you. Thank you, that's the type of thing you learn in your 300s, yes. So, or do they sneak out just to check what's to see? I think you know which one is the nicer one to do there. Do they rip open presents set under the tree? Do they pick off some ornaments, angels and all? Uh-oh, it's Lexovisaurus, and again, this guy's not being very nice, obviously. He's messing up the tree that everybody worked so hard on, but don't worry, don't give up on Lexovisaurus just yet. Do they shake up the tree so the rest of them fall? Do they eat all the cookies left out for Saint Nick? Yes, so that's a name that some people call me because before I moved to the North Pole, I lived in Turkey, and when I was living there, everybody called me Nick, and I'm not sure if I'd go so far as Saint. I just think any decent person would do the type of stuff I did, but definitely Guanlog is not being a very decent dinosaur right now, because I'm not sure if you can see, but Guanlog's just chowing down cookies that belong to somebody else, me namely, but either way, not very cool. And giving each candy cane one sloppy lick. Ew, Euthrossuchus is licking the candy canes, which is not only gross, but it means that no one's going to be able to eat them because, well, who wants to eat a candy cane someone licked? Do they upend the stockings right onto the floor? Do they pick out the gifts so they will have more? No, a dinosaur doesn't. They carol with care. Oh, a carol is a Christmas song, by the way. They help trim the trees so no branches are bare. They eat all their dinner and clear away dishes. And this is the moment we've all been waiting for. Yes, our very own Lexovisaurus has become a nice dinosaur in time for Christmas. So I'm very happy for Lexovisaurus cleaning up those dishes and all. And give their grandparents big Christmas Eve wishes. Then when I arrive, that's me right there, they're tucked in, hear them snore. I'll take it that you're fake snoring right now, Nicholas, thank you. Merry Christmas, you good dinosaur. So, and that is How Do Dinosaurs Say Merry Christmas. You could clap a little louder for that, sir. I mean, that was a fantastic book, in my opinion.
Thank you very much for that, Santa.
You're welcome for tooting the horn of my own book, but that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Because that's just, you have to pardon me. I get really excited. I mean, it's Christmas plus reading, so it just makes my mind go boggled, and I say silly things sometimes. But anyways, speaking of silly people, or rather reindeer in this case, this book is Comet, the Unstoppable Reindeer. And so Comet, one of the reindeer that pulls my sled, of course, and you may have heard the story of Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and how Rudolph saved Christmas one year by leading my sleigh with his bright red nose so I could see where I was going. It was a very foggy Christmas, I assure you. Comet also saved Christmas one year, but he doesn't get nearly as much recognition, so I wanted to make sure his story got read. So this book is both written and illustrated, words and pictures, by the same person, Jim Benton. So let us read about Comet, the Unstoppable Reindeer. So. Let me get that up there so pictures can be seen. Here we go. 'Twas the night before Christmas, a tense situation. The elves had worked the whole year without a vacation. They weren't jolly or cheery, they were tired and cranky. There was some pushing and shoving between Stinky and Stanky. I didn't name the elves, okay? That one's not on me, just want to let you know. And so Comet stepped in. He hated elf fights. And then a wild punch connected and turned out his lights. When Comet came to, they were getting along, but his arm had a bend where a bend didn't belong. The doctor came over and got to work fast. He outfitted Comet with a sling and a cast. As Comet jumped up, Doc said with a frown, "You're not going anywhere, just sit yourself down." Oh, that doesn't sound like good news for Comet. No dashing, no dancing, your arm needs a fixin'. It'll be a long time before you're prancing with Vixen. And Vixen, of course, is one of my other reindeer. And yeah, this was bad news. Dasher couldn't be on my team to pull the sleigh that year. Doctor's orders after that injury. Later that night, Comet watched me get ready. His spot had been filled by a rookie named Freddy. I had to choose a reindeer last minute. "But Comet's the best," whispered Dasher to Blitzen. "I mean, Freddy's nice, but I'm not sure he fits in." Well, despite the whispering, Freddy heard anyways. "I fit in," said Freddy. "I so qualify. I don't need a degree. I'm a reindeer. I fly." I hugged Comet and told him goodbye. Comet sighed as he watched us fly into the sky. It's so very quiet when the elves are all home and you're a busted up reindeer on the North Pole alone. Your friends have all gone to leave good girls and boys a present from Santa's big bag of toys. "His big bag of toys," Comet started to yell. "How could they forget?" And then he called my cell. Yeah, I forgot the toys at the North Pole, kind of an important thing. Sorry. But I was laughing at Freddy's bad singing. With those loud ho-ho-hos, no one heard the phone ringing. In my defense, Freddy's singing was quite funny. There was only one thing that a reindeer could do to make sure that those toys got to me and to you. One single thought went through Comet's head. Always lift with your legs, that's what everyone said. With a heave and a ho, he lifted that bag, but the weight was so great that he started to sag. He tried with a lever, he tried with a hoist, he tried till his forehead was reddened and moist. I simply can't do it. This bag weighs too much. There are too many toys and candies and such. I gave it a try. I can't do any better. But as he gave up, he noticed a letter. "Dear Santa," it said. Most start out that way. Or, "Dear Mr. Claus," or "Yo Tubby Hey." I remember the Yo Tubby Hey letter. I would highly recommend you don't send a letter to me starting Yo Tubby Hey. But this said, "Dear Santa, it'd be great if you could bring a toy for my sister. She's so sweet and good. She's too small to write, but I know what she'd like. A little green pig on a little pink bike." But there are so many kids and the world is so big, she'll understand if you can't bring the pig. She won't cry a bit, she won't even pout. Just don't wear yourself or your poor reindeer out. Comet was stunned. No child, no elf had ever put reindeer ahead of himself. But if you can swing it, and it's all up to you, our house is bright yellow and the roof is bright blue. Comet looked at that bag. It was simply too big, but at the tippitest top was a little green pig. He huffed, and he wheezed, and he let out a whine. Comet felt something slip out of his spine. but he hefted that bag like a little brave fighter. Would it kill these kids to us or some toys that are lighter? He limped to the map and looked to the east. It's morning there first, groaned the belabored beast. He lumbered outside and prepared to depart. Then he heard the soft sound of a hernia start. I'll begin in the east and work my way to the west, Comet said as he winced at a pain in his chest. He flew to Siberia, Japan, and New Guinea, where he knocked out a tooth when he crashed into a chimney. He rested a moment. He felt kind of queasy. Santa had always made steering look easy. It's not, by the way. It takes about 4 centuries to really get the mechanics of it down. Then to China, Mongolia, Nepal, Pakistan, where he was nearly run over by a red minivan. Apologies. On to Egypt and Sweden, Italy and France. Janosch with a goose knocked his antlers askew. Cleveland, Chicago, then up to Quebec. He picked up a limp and a pain in the neck. Ever have work days like that, Nicholas?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, didn't think so. He had left lots of toys, like a billion or two, but he'd found no yellow house with a bright roof of blue. He looked in L.A., he looked in Seattle, then he borrowed some Band-Aids from a small herd of cattle. He flew up to Alaska through each little town, but the bag was near empty, so he sat himself down. I've circled the world and given a toy to every good girl and every good boy. He looked at his map as he shed a small tear. No little green pig for little sister this year. The story doesn't end there, though. That tiny tear fell on a spot in the Pacific, Honolulu, Hawaii, to be more specific. A surge of delight arose in his chest as he plotted a course that was south by southwest. Way out at sea, near the end of his race, a whale blew his nose right in Comet's face. That was all he could take. Comet felt he was through, but just then Hawaii came into view. At long last he found the roof of bright blue on the house painted yellow in warm Oahu. He slipped down the chimney with a gift for the boy, and of course for his sister, the little pig toy. He was met by the boy who had written the letter. Gee, your arm's in a sling. I hope it gets better. Comet smiled and sighed. The kid's phone gave a jingle. I'll get it, said Comet. I'll bet it's Kris Kringle. Yeah, that's a nickname I got when I went to college in Germany, back in the 1300s. Those were not good times, plague and all. It was Santa, of course, full of thank yous and praise. So quick-thinking Comet mentioned getting a raise. And a vacation, I agreed to. Again, the elves have one too, asked Comet, who knew it was the right thing to do. We'll all go, I laughed. That should heal that bone. Oh, and next time, said Comet, please turn up your phone. And don't worry, ever since that Christmas, I've always kept my phone right on me so that I could hear if, I forget the bag of toys again. I really hope that doesn't happen a second time. Excuse me, Nicholas, do you think we have time for one more? It's,
Well,
I was a little late, and I'm very sorry for that. The sled just wasn't working. I only had 3 of my reindeer available, so...
Well, after what happened to Comet, I can understand. I think we have enough time to squeeze in one more, if that's okay with you. I don't want to be a bore.
No. I'm just hoping everyone out there is having fun. Hey, if you are having fun, feel free to put in the comments how much fun you're having, and that would make all of us feel really cool and really happy about all this. So yes, I have one more story. It's the Christmas Lullaby, and for this story, it's important to remember that Christmas, of course, is a celebration of generosity and charity and compassion, and it marks my annual trip around the world. That's part of it, but the core of Christmas is the birth of Jesus Christ. And so these are all about the animals that were there when Christ was born. So Christmas Lullaby by Nancy Jewell and, illustrated by Stefano Vitale. So we have the Christmas Lullaby. The donkey brought hay for the baby's bed. The baby's bed is the baby is Jesus, of course, and I'm not sure if you can see it, but in the background, very small, we have a couple of angels in the background. They're going to be very important later. The lamb borrowed fleece to put pillow under his head, and fleece. That's the that's the hair. I got plenty of fleece, don't I, Nick? Right there. That's the hair that sheep have on them. It's very good for making things such as pillows. The cow gave the baby a drink of her milk. The spider a blanket she spun from fine silk. The raven brought him a shiny, bright bead. The bees brought him honey, and the sparrow brought a seed. The mouse gave the baby grass from her nest. And if you see over here, we got a cat, and I think we can guess why the cat's here and what the cat wants to do to that poor mouse right there. But if you see over here, you got the angel tugging on the cat's tail, saying, "No, no, no, not tonight. No, no, no eating mice tonight." And that being said, I kind of wish that maybe cats don't wear leashes, but I wish he didn't have to tug on the poor cat's tail. You know what I'm saying? The dove gave a feather she plucked from her breast. Then to a chorus of moos, baas, and peeps, the cat and the kittens purred himself to sleep. And what's real, why I really love this picture is because we have the cat there and the kittens here, and we got the little mouse here in the corner. So the cats were able to not, eat the mouse, and I think that is awesome that they were able to set aside their differences for the night. And Nicholas, I had a fantastic time here. I mean, anytime that I get to spread holiday cheer and read something, especially reading something to the kids, and anytime I get to meet a fellow Nicholas, it just really makes me giggle on the inside. Hey, do you mind if I say something? Real quick. I want to say it to you. I want to say it to, Anna, thank you again for all the stuff you did tonight. And I want to say it to all of you out there, because I really feel this way. Especially in this day and age, I think it's important to say, I want to make sure, I want to hope that all of you are spending the holiday with somebody you love and care about, whether, they're on one end of your couch or they're on the other end of the country, but you're still together through a video call or an audio call or something. And, whatever you're celebrating, this time of year, whether you've just finished lighting the last candle of Hanukkah, or whether you're setting up your Christmas tree, or you're getting that Kinara out and ready for Kwanzaa later this month, I really hope that you get out of these celebrations a sense of meaning and peace and satisfaction. That's why I do what I do, bringing toys to all the kids in the world. I hope you find that thing that you need to do to give you meaning. So on that, where did I put my bells? I got those in New Delhi 527 years ago. I remember the date exactly. It was the same year that Michelangelo gave me a small statue of me. So do you mind if I head out? I think it's going to be a long ride home with the broken sled and the 3 reindeer and whatnot.
Well, Santa, I want to thank you for coming here on behalf of everyone at the Bridgeport Public Library. We always appreciate having you stop by, and I'm sorry that you had to deal with that sled issue. we'll see you again next year, I hope. I mean, if we're nice enough, if our kids are good, and if we read lots of books, maybe Santa will come next year as well.
Excellent. Well, I give you a social distance hug right now, and I'm going to be on the way. Good night, everybody, and I hope you enjoyed that. I'll be seeing you all in 10 days. Thank you.
Now that Santa has departed, I may remove my mask. I want to thank everybody again for being with us tonight. I hope you enjoyed the books that we had and our special visitor. We do have our regular story hour on Tuesday at 11 a.m. And also, if you want to meet Mrs. Claus at the Black Rock Library on Tuesday at 6:30, you can do that here at the again, Black Rock Library in Bridgeport on Fairfield Avenue. So thank you all for being here, and we look forward to having you for our next story hour. And my name is Nick, and again, I want special thanks to Miss Anna and Santa Claus himself. I hope I do get something good this year, because last year, not so good, but thank you.